Hey everybody, Larry here, and today I've got a great camera from the folks at Sony, the SLT-A77. Sony's SLT-A77 is like a DSLR, but it's technically a digital SLT. If you've ever seen our video about the A65, you know that SLT is a reference to single-lens translucent mirror technology, where the mirror is fixed and it never flips out of the way during image capture, so there's never an image blackout period. That also means you're viewing your subject via live view on the LCD or live view through the electronic viewfinder. And if you've looked at the A65, the A77 is really similar, but it's packed with some extra powerful features like faster shutter speed, a faster shooting rate, better low light sensitivity, and a sturdier weather-resistant body. The Sony A77 houses a high-resolution 24.3 megapixel APS-C CMOS sensor with a fully customizable ISO range of 50 to 16,000. This sensor, teamed up with the camera's Bion-Z image processing engine, makes tackling 24.3 megapixel photography truly manageable. Sony's Bion-Z processor makes it possible for the camera to handle huge amounts of high-speed data while maintaining a quick response time, great image quality, and minimal noise when shooting still images or full HD video. In Auto ISO mode, you have the option to set the top or bottom of the range in advance, depending on your circumstances. So even with Auto ISO, you still have some control. And when it comes to metering, the A77 has a 1200 zone exposure metering. This function reads from the camera's main image sensor, and you've got a choice between multi-segment, center-weighted, and spot metering. Burst mode is really pretty amazing for a 24.3 megapixel camera. With auto exposure locked, you can shoot 12 frames a second at full resolution continuous autofocus. And autofocusing at that kind of burst rate is made possible by the translucent mirror design I mentioned earlier. Single-lens translucent technology allows for high-speed phase detection autofocus, so focus can be continually held, capturing fast-moving subjects in almost all of the shooting modes. That performance almost guarantees great action shots, and you'll be surprised how many more of those hard-to-capture images you'll be adding to your portfolio. And that's not the end of the high-speed performance. The A77 has what Sony calls the world's shortest shutter release lag time. At just 5/100ths of a second, this camera really works hard to make sure that you get exactly the image you're trying to capture. If you're wondering about video, the A77 offers video capture choices of 60p, 60i, or cinematic 24p. It also does 50p and 25p, and it does it all at 1920 by 1080 HD. And the AVC HD file format codec means that compressed video will give you great picture quality. And of course, it's got a built-in stereo microphone plus a microphone input for using external mics. The camera offers full manual mode, plus program mode, aperture priority, and shutter priority modes. And you can use these modes even when you're shooting video. So with the A77, you can shoot full HD movies and really get the results you're after. The A77 features Sony's Steady Shot in-camera stabilization. Now, typical DSLRs build image stabilization into select lenses only, but Steady Shot does that right here in the camera body. So with other camera systems, your image stabilization only happens when you have a stabilized lens. With the A77, it happens with any compatible A-mount system lens, including macro, wide angle, and standard zoom lenses. Sony's A77 offers 3:2 or 16:9 aspect ratios for your still images. It also has a 2D and a 3D sweep panorama mode. You just press the shutter, sweep horizontally or vertically, and the camera does all the work by continually shooting images and then stitching them together inside the camera. To me, the 3D capture is especially impressive because as you sweep across the panorama in 3D mode, the camera records separate right eye and left eye images that make landscapes come alive on your 3D TV. By the way, 3D files are saved as JPEG or MPO files. The A77 offers 8 scene modes and 11 picture effects like pop color, high contrast monochrome, soft focus, retro photo, toy camera, and HDR painting, just to name a few. Just like the A65, the A77 has smile shutter technology. By selecting the smile shutter mode, the camera automatically takes the picture when the smile happens, and you can even adjust the sensitivity for the smile. Another great mode is the camera's face detection autofocus capability. Face detection can automatically detect up to 8 individual faces and then adjust focus, exposure, white balance, and flash to help deliver properly lit images of people. And talk about cutting edge, the A77 even has face registration and can remember friends and family members and then prioritize them. It's really cool. Earlier I mentioned that the A77 captures multiple images and stitches them together into a panorama. Well, there's another mode that captures 6 images and then combines them a little bit differently. It's called handheld twilight mode, and it helps you get great shots at night without a tripod. It combines 6 images into a single image for a smooth, low noise, low light shot. Sony's A77 SLT has a built-in 2.3 million dot OLED electronic viewfinder with 100% frame coverage that lets you see camera adjustments in real time with superb color and detail. It's got a 3-inch, 920,000 dot, 3-way articulated tilt and swivel LCD. And it's bracketed at the bottom so you can tilt and flip it up and down and swivel it to the left and right through 270 degrees. You can even tilt and swivel under the camera to take self-portraits. The monitor also folds flush to the camera with the LCD exposed for shooting, or you can flip it inward to keep the screen protected. One of the things I really like about this camera is that it has a live view on the LCD until you put your eye up to the viewfinder. Then it shuts off the LCD and the live view appears in the electronic viewfinder. It's really clever. A quick word about the LCD image review. Obviously, a finished image is always going to have a smoother, richer, higher resolution appearance than even the best LCD could ever show you. But I was really much more impressed with the finished images once I got them into the computer as compared to what I thought I had captured just by looking at the LCD. This camera just feels solid and professional. Not only is the A77's magnesium alloy body super rugged, but like the really high-end pro rigs out there, it's weather resistant. And speaking of things pros would like, there's an optional vertical battery grip available too. The A77 has front and rear control dials and a joystick for menu navigation. The controls are customizable, and folks using manual settings will find all the dials really helpful. The joystick feels natural and the menus are easy to navigate. And pro shooters who are used to an LCD screen for settings will appreciate the A77's top panel LCD display that shows many of the camera's important settings. The A77 has a built-in TTL flash and a hot shoe for adding external flashes. It's also got an impressive 1/250th of a second flash sync speed and a flash sync socket for firing manual flashes or transmitters. The A77 has an in-camera GPS, so you can easily record and share where you were when you took each picture. Geotaggers don't need to add a thing, the GPS is already there. Everything you capture on the A77 can be viewed on an HD TV directly using the built-in HDMI port. Of course, it also has a USB port, and files are saved to SDHC or SDXC memory cards, or Sony's Memory Stick Pro and Pro Duo cards. The A77 is available as a body only or in a kit with the 16-50 f2.8 lens you see here. I've got to say I really like this lens. It's a 24-75mm equivalent lens with tech-sharp performance on some test portraits I shot handheld. I was able to achieve a shallow depth of field, and if you're into bokeh, you'll like what this lens delivers. Sony really outdid themselves with this camera, providing great quality images with fast processing and tons of built-in features. This camera has enough to make any photographer or cinematographer really happy. With the Sony SLT-A77, I'm Larry Becker. Thanks for watching.
For more information, please visit us online, give us a call, or stop by our New York City Superstore. You can also connect with us on the web.